many people, they don't realize and they just get swayed by emotions, but the fact is it's all about selling the weapons, and that need is created.
When trailer came out, it started with a line कि जब से दुनिया बनी है तब से सिर्फ एक ही जंग हुई है, सही और गलत में और रोशनी और अंधेरे में. Sometime cancer needs amputation. You have to cut an organ, and that organ needs to be cut. And if that violence is an answer for a violence, you need to take that step. Hi, this is Abbas Zafar and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.
There are several things that you're saying, apart from the fact that बहुत बार हम लोग चीज़ों को सतह पर सिर्फ देखने की कोशिश करते हैं, and you also just a big blockbuster film when you talk about the fact when Abu Usman says towards the end that this entire war is basically a business. Many people, they don't realize and they just get swayed by emotions, but the fact is it's all about selling the weapons, and that need is created. So when you're making those statements, and even apart from that, I think many people, they really like the fact that you don't really glorify Sajjad's character, even in spite of the fact that he has gone through something after 9/11, which I think quite a few people have gone, and they were innocent at that point of time, but still you don't really glorify him. You know, many people don't realize it, and I'm saying entirely as a cinema watcher, that जो आप screenplay जिस तरीके से आप लिखते हैं, लोगों को पता भी नहीं चलता वो किस तरीके से उसके अंदर जज्ब करने लगते हैं अपने अंदर. वो I think इस पिक्चर की बहुत खूबसूरती है, that all those things are coming across very, very nicely.
I think especially in a film like Espionage, the most important part of storytelling is screenplay. And the continuous struggle that I had while making the film and while writing the film is that, you know, an espionage always has a rhythm. It's like you are sitting in a train, you know, which will only stop at one last station, and that would be the film. And if you see that, even if you see the arc of the film, you know, usually when we write Hindi films, if I compare it with Sultan, you know, Sultan starts at one point of time, hits a crescendo in the first half and finishes at interval with one chapter completely over. And then the second chapter starts from there and goes to a crescendo in the climax. That's an Indian screenplay structure because we write for interval, you know. But in espionage, you can't do it, you know. So the way Tiger is written is, Tiger has one graph. It keeps going up towards the end. And if you see, like, even Salman's character is very, very restrained in the film. You know, he's right. But when he goes full throttle after that scene with Abu Usman, then he fires like a mad cannon, because that's the time he understands what he's fighting against it. And that fight is not what you are seeing is a visual fight, but actually it's a fight of philosophy.
Absolutely.
It's the fight of right and wrong. You know, when trailer came out, it started with a line कि जब से दुनिया बनी है तब से सिर्फ एक ही जंग हुई है, सही और गलत में और रोशनी और अंधेरे में. That scene is actually a defining scene which actually pushes you into that philosophy of that sometime cancer needs amputation. You have to cut an organ, and that organ needs to be cut. And if that violence is an answer for a violence, you need to take that step, because at times a dialogue doesn't work. So all those things, and whatever little understanding of research work I did, which went behind making Tiger, I understood that you know, a lot of people will have justifications to go on the wrong path, but a wrong will never justify a wrong.
Right.
You know, somewhere or the other, hate will never cure hate. It is love, it is brotherhood, it's peace that will create and finish that hate. So for us to understand that revenge is always not the answer, and sometimes it's good to put your guard down and say, if even something has gone wrong, I will be positive and I'm going to fight back and be that person who could make the change. Is in broad lines what intentionally we were trying to say. So there is no justification of being wrong, you know.
No, absolutely. You know, there are so many things that one can discuss. Actually, there's so many things that are coming to my mind. Okay, let's start maybe with Salman and Katrina's chemistry. I was speaking to Katrina day before yesterday, and 3 days back, and I think this is the most mature maybe love story that they've shared. That mutual respect
It's
that is
unsaid.
coming across, unsaid. Yeah. That mutual respect is coming along. One I think aspect that maybe I was planning to take in another section, but I think light को आपने बहुत अच्छे से use किया है. Even कटरीना के चेहरे के ऊपर या फिर जैसे वो वहाँ पर जब रात में जब वो उसको गाड़ी को जब वो पीछे से वो करते हैं उसके बाद when they are just looking at each other, I think it's come across very nicely. So what is it about this Salman Katrina? Because you know people are looking at it in an altogether different light now. People I think would love to cast them together because they're looking so good.
They I think make a very good on-screen couple. Yeah, see, there are 2-3 things like off-screen. I think they're too comfortable with each other.
Right.
So when you just give them the right scene, I think their chemistry just blossoms on screen. What I was also very clear in the film was that I wanted the man who's fighting against this to be a family man. Right. You know, Tiger in this film has a family. There is a different approach when you have a family and you go on a mission like this. You're not very brave. You know, there's a scene in the film where he looks at a child in Iraq, Hassan, and his co-agent tells him, "ये हमारा काम नहीं है," and he says, "ये तो हमारा काम है." You know, so the idea was that when a father will see another kid who is comes from another socio-political backdrop and who doesn't even know what he's doing, how will a father react? No, it's not about how an agent will react in that situation.
Right.
It's about how a father will react. One of the reasons I think why people also kind of got into the mission is because they saw that this is a man who's leaving his family behind to come to a mission which is obviously about the dignity of the country, but is also very important and relevant. And when he finds his wife there, you know, there is not even a single romantic scene in the film.
Yeah.
But the kind of conversations those two people have has so much of soul and have so much of today's contemporary problem that as an audience you automatically fall in love with them. You know, like my first thing with Katrina was like, Katrina, it's not a love romantic film. It's a film which has a much bigger story, and you have to act so normal that as an audience you feel that there are two agents who were working for their individual countries at one point of time, and now they're living together. You don't need to be over emotional, you don't need to be over romantic, and same is with Salman. You know, like if you've been living with a woman for 8 years, every second line is not a romantic line. If you have a genuine normal conversation, that will kind of ignite a chemistry where people will believe that these characters are very real characters.
That's true. Shaljam and all that stuff. Shaljam and Tinder and all that. Okay.
Hi, this is Abbas Zafar and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.